Intimate Issues with Dr.O.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How are you? We're gonna have this is a family issue, so if you have kids, it's okay. We're not talking anything that they cannot hear. So let your kids watch this and share on your pages or in your groups. This is what everybody needs to hear. If you need to share anything, this is what you should share. You have a blended families, step families, whatever you call your home. Blended family, that's what we're talking about. Actually, somebody's been telling me since last year that I need to share this. She's planning on remarry and they have kids, and they both have kids. So she's like, Dr.O, I've been watching you. It looks so easy, it looks so fun, but I'm scared. People are scaring her. You want to marry somebody with kids. I said, don't you have your own kids too? So gonna share this and we're gonna talk. You can put your comments there. I'm using the laptop, so I will not be able to add anyone. I don't think I'm able to add anyone. At least thank God this one is working today. So let's begin. What is blended family? Some of you call it step family. I have a step mom, I have a stepdad, I have stepson, step this, step that. I call it blended because if you're calling it step, it means it's not balanced. That's where I think, that's where I look at it. If you're saying step, okay, your stairs, one step, two step, you know, it's like this. But when you say blended, it has to all interwove somehow. So that's why I don't call it step. I don't believe in anything step. I was not raised like that. My parents raised everybody's kids like their own. So I grew up thinking everybody were my siblings, even though we know they were not, but that's the way we grew up. Nobody was a slave to anybody. Everybody do whatever they're supposed to do. We all function as one family. The only difference in my family was the last name. So we're talking about blended family. This is something we need to talk about. There are certain things we don't want to touch. It's sensitive. There's nothing sensitive about this. The most sensitive thing is we already blended anyway. We already stepped. So that's the most sensitive. The moment we say I do, the moment we all come together, then there's nothing sensitive about it that we cannot or we should not talk about. No matter how sent you think you are, or no matter how you think your family is nuclear, you know somebody that has a blended family, step family. Let me use your word first before I begin to use mine. So please share. Kids can watch this. They need to hear. And I'm thankful some kids called me last week after the show. Apparently some, especially teenagers, they watch this. And I was so happy that, you know what, sometimes you're doing something, you think, well, you're just doing your own thing. And that's the way I do my own thing. I'm just doing my own thing. But I feel blessed and I feel encouraged when people call me to tell me I watch your show. And last week I was extremely happy. I was really, really happy when teenagers began to call me, telling me, I watch your show on my mom's page. I watch your show. I did this. I was like, really? Well, thank God it was about parenting. So that was good. Some of you that allowed your kids to watch it or that you made your kids watch it, that is really, really good. When you see shows like this that kids can benefit, please let them watch it. I know I talk a lot about sex. I'm not talking, well, maybe I will because it's part of this today, but I'm not talking anything graphic that kids cannot hear. I don't think they don't know what is going on. They do know what is going on. Okay, so I'm really, really grateful. I talked to like four teenagers. One was really, really sad, which I posted on my group, Intimate Issues with Dr.O. I mean, sexual abuse is going on in the house, things that we close our eyes, things that we don't want to hear, things that we don't want to deal with is happening. It's my job. It's disheartening. Sometimes when I hear stuff like this, when I hear things, it's really, really disheartening. But you know what? Somebody has to talk about it. Somebody has to open the curtain and go behind the scene and talk about it. So the only one that I shared was this case that is being molested by our own dad. This is not even a stepdad. Okay, so I was happy that some of you allowed your kids to watch it. Another person called. Mom, he was grounded by her mom, so they watched the video together, and then they called and he was asking questions, and I was happy that he was able to ask questions. So don't think they're stupid. Don't think there are certain things they should not see, they should not hear. You know what? Let them hear, because when you discipline them, it's like, my mom is mean. My mom is a witch. My mom is too hard. Let them hear from other people. Okay, let them hear from other people and let them hear the truth, because by the time they're calling their friends or they're learning from the streets, you're losing them already. So let them hear the truth. I know some of you, you don't even hear the truth from the church. That's the truth. Okay, so I'm happy that you allowed your kids to watch it. Let them watch this one too. We talk, especially if you have a blended family or you're planning on one. Okay, so we all know what step families are. And the funny thing, it's not really funny. It's not funny anymore. I posted yesterday to it's not funny. It's huge. It's scary. It is very, very scary what is happening these days with all this divorce and commotions in marriage. You know, marriage was ordained by God, and it meant well. It wants peace. That's the only way you can function. And if you have that's no perfect family, there's no perfect marriage, but when you have a happy one, when you have a peaceful one, you know what, you live like a king. It's like, wow, sometimes I feel like everything ends in this my house, because I feel that peace. The moment I step out, I know any craziness can happen out there, but the moment I know that I'm on my way home, I feel peaceful. I feel happy that I'm going home, even if there's nothing for me to do. Just sit down and just relax in my office or on the couch or somewhere. I don't watch TV. I can't even remember the last time I stepped into the living room. A couple of weeks now, I've been really, really busy. So when we crash, me and Mr. Steven crash on the bed or in the kitchen. We haven't even crashed in the living room in like a month. So your house should be peaceful for you. Your house should be a refuge for you. You should feel at peace when you are at home. And a lot of people believe that when you live in a blended family, it's not peaceful. When you live in a blended family, it's supposed to be commotion. It's supposed to be chaotic. Like, no, it should not be like that. Okay? And this is not something that we can make go away. Okay? We live in a crazy world already. So what we should do is, you get a divorce, oh, domestic violence, this and that. Anyhow you got the divorce, anyhow you think you want to get a divorce, anyhow you think you want to get that separation, anyhow you think, you know what, I'm tired of this marriage, I'm gone. Anything can happen after that. So for me as a counselor, for me as a coach, it's a concern. I posted something, I think earlier today, I said the state of marriage is very, very disturbing, because I'm the one that sits down or stand up every single day listening or reading from people that need help, or people that think, okay, a lot of people don't even ask for the help. But sometimes I'm so tired, like, Lord, I don't want to read that. Lord, I don't want to hear that, but I have to read it. I have to hear it because it's my job. So I was talking about my concern about the state of marriage. Okay, it is very, very scary, very, very scary these days. What is going on? It's like we've turned it to marriage of convenience. Everybody's just doing whatever they think, not even think is right, whatever they feel like they want to do. Or I keep telling you, the people you listen to, the people you follow, because by the time I was telling somebody, we had this women, I mean, great women. I had this meeting yesterday. I was so excited with ministers, women. We were talking, brainstorming and all that. Okay, and it's like we already live in this crazy world. How do we make this better? And for me, as a person, it's a concern to me when I see things. It's like everybody's just doing whatever they feel like they want to do. So please, not people that you follow. I was telling them, I was boasting about my group, and sincerely I will boast about my group anyway. A lot of people think, oh, Dr. O, we should have been more than that. No, we don't have to be. We don't have to be. And I know some of them are even overprotective because they love the calmness. They don't want any drama. We used to have drama. We don't have that anymore. And I was telling these great women yesterday, I said, in 7 years that I started that group, I can see transformation. And that's what it is. I can see transformation. It wasn't easy for me when I started. People were like, who is she? Well, who does she think she is? Blah, 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 all that. But in 7 years, I can see God changing lives. I can see people changing. I can see improvement. I can see transformation and all that. So this year, I've started to do, little classes outside of the group. Singles, we just finished singles meeting 6 weeks. And that's like 12 hours. That's intensive 12 hours because most times we spend 2 hours or more than 2 hours. And my thing is, okay, let's deal with certain things before they start. Let's combat divorce before you even think about it. You're single, you want to marry, because a lot of people think, I don't want to marry. Well, it's okay, that's what you want to do. But if you want to get married, then prepare yourself for it. Prepare yourself for it. I always think about preparation when it comes to marriage. I think about Esther in the Bible. She was prepared to be presented to the king. The king was already on his throne, okay? But he needed that queen. That queen, there are some positions that you cannot just walk in. You need to be prepared to function. You need to be prepared to be successful for it. And marriage is that special thing. It's a priority. There is no two way about it. A lot of people don't believe in premarital counseling. A lot of people do because their church will make them. It's mandatory. But what are they teaching you at that okay. What are they teaching you at the premarital counseling? Because sometimes it's like you want to get divorced 1 month, 2 months after you get married. So why did you even waste your time going for premarital counseling? What was the topic? What were you talking about? If you feel like you want to get a divorce, why did you even get married? A lot of people would just say, I don't want to waste money, so let me just continue. Let that money be wasted. It's not wasted compared to the stress and the agony of going in the marriage when you know you were not ready for it, or you don't want to be there. Those are the things that add up to, okay, how did you end up divorced? How did I end up divorced? Well, I've shared that several times. I've shared that several times. I wasn't prepared for that marriage. I didn't know the person that I married. I was a mail order bride. So all of that. And then it became abusive and all that. So whose fault it is? It takes two people. My fault, his fault. I tried for 14 years. It didn't work. Well, I cannot die inside of the marriage. So I left. Was I prepared for it? No, I wasn't prepared. So it's not like blaming him only. I was part of the blame too. So before you even go into that marriage, are you prepared for that marriage? Do you really want to look back 20 years in this marriage and be happy like, oh, I made the right choice? Or you just got pregnant and you think, I have to marry him or I have to marry her. Okay, it's okay. You don't want to have a child outside wedlock, but you know what? A lot of these things, craziness, whatever decisions we make, add up to, we end up in divorce, and then we want to remarry again. Or you don't want to marry again. Somebody lost husband, you lose your spouse, you want to marry again. So a lot of things can add up to us. A lot of things add up to us ending up in the step family, blended family. A lot of factors. Some are fault, some aren't at fault. But whatever led you into being in one, or whatever is leading you into getting into one, you know what, it's a choice too. It is another choice that you're making. You want to remarry because the loss of a spouse, or you want to remarry because, you know what, you want to remarry, or you've never been married but you have kids. So my concern now, it's not that I'm not concerned about you adults. I feel really, really concerned too, because I do, but I'm more concerned about the kids. I'm more concerned about the children, because these are the next generation. We need to, if you were not prepared for your own life, it's okay. It's not too late. That's why I always tell you, people, ask for help, seek for help, reach out to somebody. But for these children, I'm very, very concerned. Let us begin to prepare them for their own future. Let us begin to prepare them for our home peace. Because they've grown up, they see calling you, and I is banging my head on the wall, and my husband is slapping me, this and that. It's still part of your life. You're still going to be the one to have the unrest. If she's not resting, you're not resting. I don't know what mother, a good mother, that will hear that a child is not happy and you will be happy. You can never be happy. And that's why some of us will not tell our parents what is going on. Because I didn't tell, I never told until I called my dad that I was getting separation. He wasn't shocked, he wasn't surprised, because at the time they knew that I wasn't okay. They just couldn't figure out what was going on with me. So please, let us prepare these children, okay? I'm going to read some of the letters that I received. Sometimes some of your kids send me messages too, without you knowing. Because some will be like, okay, who is that woman she's been following all this while? Who is that woman she's been listening to? And they will send me messages. Some will, two called me last week. I'm like, who is this? Okay. So they know what is going on. They need help. Sometimes they think you don't want to seek for help, but they will seek for that help for themselves or for you. So please, let us begin to prepare these children. They're not, none of them, that as long as they can hear, even from 3 years old, you cannot sit a 3 years old down talking to him or her about marriage. But you begin to prepare them. The way you treat your kids, the way what you show them, what you teach them, what you train them with, these are some of the things that will carry them. These are preparations for the future. The way you behave in the house, the way you love your spouse, the way you talk to your spouse, they're watching, they're monitoring you. They're your monitoring spirit. If you don't know, you think they don't know, they do, they know. So begin to train them according to age. You don't want to sit a 7-year-old down and be talking about don't get pregnant. I'm like, mommy, what are you talking about? When you tell a 14-year-old or a 16-year-old, they will understand you better. So you have to train your kids according to their ages. Okay, so we're talking about blended family. If you're just joining, please share on your wall. Let's talk about this. You can send me inbox. If it's something I can read, I will read it now. If it's not something that we can deal with now, I will get back to that. How can you help your children heal from watching their mom being abused by their dad? That's a good question. Let me see if I should start from that. How can you help your own children from okay. Okay, I can start with that because I don't want to forget. How can you help your children heal? The best healing is get out of that situation first. There cannot be healing if you're still in that situation. I tell people all the time, Doctor, you need to help my child, or you need to help me. Well, there's little that I can do. The only thing that I can teach you is survivor kit in that situation that you're still in. If you're still in that situation, there's little that I can do, especially if that dad that is still abusing you, or the kids is still there and he has not changed, or he hasn't get any help. Definitely the situation will continue. So how do you survive that abuse is what I can teach you. But how can you heal? You cannot begin healing when the situation is still going on. Like if you take the child for therapy, or if you go for therapy, you know what, you can just, I'll tell you, begin to plan. because you don't want to just rush out, unless it's like, okay, it's a matter of life and death. If somebody is threatening you with, I'm going to kill you. Because if Mr. Steven begin to tell me, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, he will say it once. He cannot even joke with me with that word, with that phrase, I'm going to kill you. So I will begin to like, okay, kill me one time. That's not a joke. The second time, you stay there and he's treating you like he's going to kill you, choking you. I mean, threatening you with knife. If he has a gun in the house, threatening you with a gun, and you're still in that house, you cannot heal. So that's a matter of life and death, because that is physical and it's telling you and it's manifesting. So you need to run for your life. Anyhow, you need to run for your life. The child in this situation can begin to get help when he or she is removed from that situation. There's no how you can do that, because a child that is getting counseling from school or from a therapist or something and still going to that house, how is that child going to heal? That child is never going to heal in that situation. So heal from watching their mom being abused by their dad. They cannot. They cannot. As long as the abuse continues, they cannot be healed. So that child or the children must be removed from that situation before healing can start. That's when healing can start. That's when you begin to train that child. You begin to change their mindset. What you saw, what you've experienced, what you've been seeing and going through is not normal. Because in some homes, it has become normal. That is beating mom. You just see the children turn around or go somewhere. Some will be fighting for their mom. Some will be fighting their dad. So it can never be better or healed. They're broken. So to mend the brokenness, to heal, they have to be removed from that. I hope I've answered that question. Exactly. Get out first. Yes, the only solution is to get out first. There's no healing until you get out. That's when healing can come. I don't care if you go to church or sleep in church, you fasting, going to the mountain or whatever. It ain't gonna help at all. It can never help. So that's that with that. Okay. So still talking about blended family. So we all know what that means. It's a result of parents' marriage, a person who is not your biological parent. So blended family is not only about marriage. You can adopt a child. You can have your family living with you. You have a maid living in your house. That's blended family, because that's not your biological child. Anyone that you do not give birth to biologically and you are staying together, these are all blended family. You're stepping into each other. You've all blended together. So how do we deal with each other? How do we cope with peace in the house? How can we experience peace in the house when everybody's just coming from everywhere? And some blended family, they're really, really blended. They are really, really blended. Okay. And survey says, I posted some survey says, nearly 1/3 of all marriages this year, meaning people getting married this year, we end up in divorce. That's huge. That's crazy. That's really, really sad. And nearly 1/2 of all marriages will eventually end in divorce. It means 50% of people getting married this year will end up in divorce. That's really, really sad. In many developed countries, third world countries, 1/2 of all births are to unmarried women. All these teenagers getting married, adults, young adults, old adults, normal adults, giving birth without husbands. This means the blended family has now become the norm, not an exception. It is a norm. So you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, you all know somebody that has a blended family. Today, at least 1/3 of all children in the US will live in a step family before they reach age 18. At least 1/3. 1/3. 1/3 means 1 out of every 3 kids. Is that not 1/3? Yeah, 1 of 3. Wow. 1 of 3 children will live in one step family before they reach age 18. So that is huge. I agree that you need to move out with the children from there. Oh yes, you have to. You have to. Moving out is the solution. How and when do you introduce your intended spouse to your children? Okay. how and when. You've been married before you have kids, because it's easier if you never have kids. But if you have kids, please don't bring men around your children. Do not bring men around your children. If you are not sure, even when they know you've seen somebody, don't bring them close to it. Especially kids that used to have a dad and you divorce him or move away. If they had a dad before, don't just bring men. Women, please, especially you. Men, they know how to do their shady things out there. Okay, please, you women, we're very vulnerable, gullible. Please, I'm begging you, do not bring men, because the moment you bring in home, they know it's uncle so. That's my mommy's boyfriend. That's my mommy fiance. And then you break up. You know what? They will feel it more than you feeling it. So if you are not sure that this man, I can spend the rest of my life with him, I want to spend of my life with him, and he feels the same way, don't bring them home to your kids. Don't bring them close to your kids. The moment you know, okay, you know what, I can marry this man, it's okay, you can introduce them, because that's gonna be their new dad or their new mom. So you need to introduce at the appropriate time, and that appropriate time depends on you and what you want to do. But if you're just going out with a guy or you just need a companion, don't bring them close to your kids. You don't want them to be seeing you with this man. Okay, Uncle Jide is not even coming here again. Uncle Kunle used to be here. By the time you know it, they're counting 4, 3, 5 men for you. That is not good. You don't want your kids to see that. So how and when? How is some kids, they've not even gotten over your separation or divorce from their father. So you don't want to throw another man into their lives. And if you left that marriage because of abuse or domestic violence especially, you don't want to bring another man to intimidate them. You don't want to introduce another man to them, because they're still grieving. They're still holding on to that life. Either you like it or not, either it was abusive to them or not, they're still missing that man walking around the house screaming at everybody. So when you leave a marriage, and you, especially domestic abusive sexual abuse marriage, please, I'm begging you, however you're gonna do it, if you're gonna work to pay for a therapist, for a counselor, please do that and get that for your kids. Personally, I do not want you to get married without getting help first for your children. If you think you don't need it, you need it too. Either the separation was amicable or bittered. However you get separated from the father or mother of your children, please get help for them. Get help for them. Get counseling for them. Get therapy for them. Whatever you want to do, get it for them. When you know they're fine or they're working it out, because healing does not come at once. Depending on how long they've been there, depending on how long you've been separated, depending on how long you've separated them from their family. Because however you want to see it, you separated that family, either for good or for no good reason. You separated that family. So you have to be the one to get help for them. You have to help them. You need to get that help for them for a successful next journey to a good life, a beautiful life. I wish you all the best. Okay, you have any question, let me know, inbox me. God bless you. I love you. Mwah!
Give me one more chance, and know that I have done you wrong. All those times you looked at me and saw the good I really had. Sometimes I just wanna cry for living you so down like that, and treating you like you were nothing. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And times I broke your heart.